Okay, just got to the Sacramento card show. It's Saturday. I'm gonna show you what I brought. It's other dealers are unloading and it's not near. This is my Toyota Camry. That's how much I got in the trunk. And then, oops, that was my luggage from last night. Some stuff in the back seat, nothing major. The calm before the storm. Everyone's still setting up. It's 8:30. It's 10:30. We've had some decent sales so far. All graded stuff. Mostly stuff like $50 and under. People seem to be walking around and just checking it out, and I think they're gonna buy later once they check everything out. What up, everyone? I'm gonna kind of recap all my sales and go over what I kind of learned. So some of the biggest takeaways were I definitely need some more raw prepped, but I prepped a 3-row with top loaders and I priced them all, and that took me almost all week. I probably had I wouldn't doubt like 20 hours into that box. I made pretty good money off of it. But to have another 3-row with more players, just so that you can catch more of the audience that's there, because there's people and they're typically just looking for specific things. So trying to capture more of that, because there was a booth next to me, M Cards. They just had probably 6 4-row boxes of 10-cent cards. And I'm like, man, there's no way that's going to do well. But people plunked down and they just stacked the cards, and everyone would typically do like 20 or 40 bucks worth of cards. And that was happening like about every 15 minutes. So I wouldn't be surprised in an hour they were making 80, 100 bucks on 10-cent cards. I don't have a lot of that type of inventory, the 10-cent card stuff, but I definitely could probably make a 2-row box. And then I would definitely make another 3-row box of top loaded stuff that's like $1 to $15. I did have some stuff that was over 20 bucks, and that helped. I need more of a variety in my showcases. Kind of what I did is, I like Jordan. I wanted people to see Jordan, so I did like 2 rows of that. Where I think it would have been better to have like a row of it, and then if people asked about Jordan, been like, "Hey, I have more," and then just get more players out in the showcase to start the conversation with the. I'm saying customers, maybe collectors is a better word to use for this. With the collectors. My table was kind of in the back. The entrances wasn't quite in the middle of the room, but it was like in the first third. So I was in the very back. But I got the last 2 tables for the show, so that I'm definitely not going to get good placement. I imagine that comes with loyalty and just doing it over and over again. So that would have helped, but that's just something from doing it more. I'm trying to think of my other big takeaways. I think you'll see in the videos, or you would have already seen in the videos, Courtney was there. She's my girlfriend. We've been together for 10 years. We have a small side business. It barely turns a profit a year. And we mainly do it for the cancer community, because she's a 2-time cancer survivor. So she was selling her socks that she's designed, and we have that business. It's called Bionic Blaze. It's a registered trademark. We've gone through that whole process to protect the brand, but to also protect the characters and stuff. that we have on there. And she sold, shout out to Greg from Teammates. He has a store in Modesto and Carmichael. He paid it forward and gave her $20 to give some socks away. And she did give those 2 socks away to a lady that was there with her 5 kids. And she had been a cancer survivor. And so that was really big plus to be able to give those socks away. So shout out to Greg. Erman from True Sports. I'm probably saying his first name wrong. Super nice guy. He came over and bought a pair of socks. He's also a 2-time cancer survivor, and he has a store in Rockland. So we really definitely appreciate the support there from True Sports. And then she had another 5 sales on top of that of socks. And then we have some shirts that we used to do. She sold one of those shirts, and then we have some magnets that we do. The socks is kind of the main business there. So it was good to set up and make some sales to some local cancer survivors or cancer supporters. And I would have probably brought some different stuff. I had some Beckett's out on the table. They didn't really do well. I did make one sale, and you'll see that in the upcoming part of the video that I'm about to do, where I'm going to recap the sales. I had some like 90s wax there, just cheap stuff from like $25 up to like $100. Had a couple questions about it, but no one bought anything. I think that can change show to show, but I would probably bring like half the wax because it did take up a decent amount of space. What else would I do? Yeah, so that's the main things. More variety on the showcases. Definitely another 3-row of raw, and then probably a 2-row of just penny sleeved cards. The M Sports he didn't even have his in penny sleeves. They're just raw, but people didn't seem to mind. They're 10 cents. And that's the other thing I really saw is a lot of the cards that I was selling, I would say 90% of those it was going into their collection. And a lot of people said that. They're like, I'm going to buy this because it's going into my PC. And I think that's kind of more the cards that I have. It's not really flipping cards. So that was really positive. I eked out a positive return. Tables were $50 a piece. I got 2 tables. Just a 1-day show. It went from 9 to 4 p.m. By 3:30, there was hardly anyone there. Some tables were starting to break down. We went in and stayed open ours up till 4, just since there was less competition with the other tables breaking down. I don't think we had any sales in the last minute there, anything like that. And then they opened the doors at 7 if you want to start setting up, and we got there at 8. Stayed in Airbnb the night before. Found something that was like $85 after tax. It was a bedroom in a house, so we're sharing a bathroom and stuff like that. But I really didn't know what I was getting into, so I was trying not to get too deep. But overall, great learning experience. Nice to eke out a very small profit. We're talking like maybe $100, $150, but it's a win. And then if you consider gas and time, it's paying myself $5, but it's a hobby, right? So definitely plus. I'm going to flip the camera around, and then I'll pull up the photos and kind of go over the sales. So hopefully this works out okay. So I'm going to do this, and then I'll bring up the photos as I talk about it. The first sale was a 7-card sale. This guy, I guess he's one of the largest repackers in the area. I had a box of just value slabs, and it was all slabs that were $50 and under. And I had on there, if you buy 3, I would take $5 off. He bought 7 cards, so I gave him 10, and then we haggled, and I went ahead and took another 5 off. So on this deal, it's really, I'm just getting my grading fee back, and getting that money back into my hands. And then there were some cool cards there. You can see that he picked out a nice variety. So we'll bounce into the second one. The second one was a Jordan 93 Ultra PSA 10. most people know the values of cards are down right now. So I did, because I needed to, I was there to sell cards, so I needed to sell some cards even if maybe I didn't want to at certain prices. I let this one go for about, it was around 120 or 130 bucks. I can't remember what we landed on there. We comped the last sale and kind of went off that. I had another person ask me about the other copy that I had, and because I did have 2 copies, and I'm just going to hold on to that copy because I didn't want to let them both go at that price. So the third sale, you'll see here, is a Jordan Electrified out in 1995 Skybox and the Hot List. You can see the price on the Electrified. I would have had to look up the price on the Hot List and just seen what I had picked it up for and what they're going for, and made a deal there. The fourth sale, it'll actually be the Magic versus Jordan. This guy was a guy that PCs Magic. And then the second card that he bought in it was the Fleer. It was stickered at 100, but the last sale was 50 bucks, which was tough. So we just agreed upon, like, if you're gonna buy it off eBay, you're gonna pay $5 shipping, and then taxes would be about $5. So we settled on 60, and with the sticker being 100, he was happy with that, and we got that deal done. Had some Pokemon. This is the next sale. This was just the dad and his little girl. The girl was probably 6 or 7 or something like that. And I went ahead and let this go for $5 off. Trying to make the kids happy. I wasn't really into it for much. So that was hopefully a win for both, to a new collector, and hopefully she really enjoys the card. The next sale was, I brought all the slab stuff that I have listed on eBay. So if certain people were interested, I'd pull the boxes out, let them dig through it. This Dirk Skybox, clear acetate, gorgeous card, an 8. I have 2 PSA 9s that I'm holding on to. So I was willing to let the 8 go. Can't remember. I didn't write down the prices on everything that I was selling. I was taking pictures because I do have all my inventory recorded. So I need to pull it out of my inventory. So I know what's going on there. The next sale was a Carmelo rookie card. This is numbered to 1500. And that market's really, really down. So we went back and forth, and I like the card. I like Carmelo. Not a lot of people like Carmelo. I make wine, so the fact that he's into wine and he's a basketball player, and I just think that's cool, and so that's collectible to me. But this guy was a big Carmelo collector. He didn't have the card. So we eventually settled on $33, which was what I had paid for it after shipping and taxes and everything in my hand. So that was just a wash, which is okay. Then the other thing I want to bring up is Raw. I did about 200 bucks, maybe a little more. And then I'm going to have to zoom out for... Oh, I don't want to zoom out much. I sold one of these. Canseco was in Fairfield at one of the card shows like a year ago. His auto was 20 bucks. I paid about 10 bucks for the Beckett after shipping and taxes and all that stuff. I think this is really cool. And I got a PSA witnessed. So there's like a little card inside that I have in here. So 20 plus for the signature, plus 10 for the authenticating, and then 10, what is that, 30, 40. I was selling them for 50. So I had a person that bought this that had came to the show looking for something signed by Canseco, was thinking that they would get a bat or a ball. They thought this was a little cooler. So I have one more copy of this. I have them listed on eBay, I think, for like 75. I haven't had any watchers or offers or anything like that. So to go ahead and move one at 50 at $10 profit, I'm all about it. Hope everyone liked this video. Try to do it differently than what I see most card show videos. I don't have a whole lot of high dollar $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 cards. I've never felt really comfortable buying those cards. I'm slowly getting more comfortable buying like $1,000 cards. But this is how I've been collecting for the last 18 years. Is the cards I'm into are the $30 to I've had some decent luck at PSA, so I have some cards that are worth $500, $1,000. But no big dollar sales today at this show, and that's okay. Please give a thumbs up and like. That helps the channel. Definitely helps me keep going at this, cranking out the YouTube content. And if you want to subscribe, you like my stuff, I do a lot of 90s stuff. I do a decent amount of vintage stuff with the Hall of Fame GOATs, with Kareem, Julius Erving, Dr. J, Pete Maravich, those type of players. So catch everyone later.